All right, so we got a matchup update. So the second game between Batmouse and Jeff will be Batmouse on Zikfa versus Jeff on Obi Muting. Which I think we saw that matchup yesterday, actually. Did not go well for Batmouse. Jeff had a lot of answers. All right, let's give away another Get by AI pack. So, can someone name a non-episode 1 effect from the Tatooine expansion? All right. Sean claiming another pack. So Greg won the first game by 13 on time. It was Old Allies versus Thrawn. So next up, we're going to see Conor on RTPv and Greg on ROPsV. Now, we don't know if Greg is playing a traditional version of ROPsV or the Nines version. He's been playing both a lot recently, so we'll see. It also, Joe conceded to Hayes, so Hayes advanced. And then Jeff is up by 9 in his game over Batmouse, and Charlie is up by 15 over Sam. So those are your updates. Do we know any other matchups besides the Batmouse Jeff matchup?
Hey, wait 1 sec for my coffee still to get ready, but it looks like they're setting up so we can get into this.
All right, so here we go. So ROPsV versus RTPv. This looks like a traditional version of ROPS from Greg.
Yeah, the fact he's not starting the blaster
Yeah.
effect. Entire Legion of the Best Troops obviously kind of telegraphs that a little bit.
As we see Insignificant Rebellion, Pure Order combo, and Indoor Shield. And look at those beautiful new ally
New ally shields. Or new ally sleeves, if anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone ever seen a Hams logo before? Hams
A lot
beer
of
logo.
inspiration there.
Inspiration for our good friends up in Minnesota from that. Conor.
So you've dabbled in RTPv a little bit. What do you think
Quite
about
a
this
bit.
matchup?
Well, I'd like it for RTP. ROPS really cannot. The ROPS does not want to go around contesting the Death Star sites, right? And so that should be a pretty easy flip for Conor. Obviously, his drains will be -1, but there's a lot of drain bonuses going on. Um, Also, the blaster effect will give him a ping, so he can definitely get a lot of damage in. My question becomes really, I think, can he win by 14? Because
Yeah.
ROPS is just going to be like, all right, do your thing. I'm going to go to my 4 sites. I'm going to go to Aradu. I'm going to get 6 damage going. And can Conor contest that is going to be interesting to see. I do know there's a couple of spicy things in both of these deck lists, so I don't want to kind of give it away, let it come up as it comes in stream. But I think there could be some interesting back and forth here. These are traditional lists, but with some interesting card choices.
Well, these are two decks we have not seen on camera thus far, so it should
Yeah,
be interesting.
yeah, we've seen ROPs nines, right, but not normal ROPs. And
Did we
then
see Rob's nines yesterday?
maybe we didn't. We never had Joe or Greg on stream with it.
No.
Yeah. And then obviously the RTP. I think no one played it yesterday. Conor loves his RTP. Yeah, he's been. I think he was actually even on the design pod that helped create the deck originally. Um, so he's definitely gonna has good experience with the deck. He played it at San Diego. I think had a pretty solid record with it there too. The deck's gotten some good boosts in the last set or two. This combo effect kind of streamlines a lot of what it does by letting it pull weapons, but also ping. But both these, it plays strong on the Death Star sites, right? Your Leia's on your Death Star, you can only download your weapons to the Death Star.
Yep.
And so it really, if it's facing an opponent like ROPS, needs to win a damage race, right? There's not gonna be fighting, right? It's not like a bring him or hunt down where Vader's gonna show up and you're gonna draw a bunch of destinies and shoot things with blasters. ROPS is just gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna flip, make all your drain twos into drain ones. You got to pay for that, and then kind of do its own thing.
Yep. Don't know much about Connor's RTPv list, but I know that it's kind of difficult to run a space package because you
It's
have to play
difficult,
Han
but
on the ground.
some versions have played more. Yeah, so you can't have Han Shui Falcon. But what you do have is you do have that Luke who can now be pulled by your do everything interrupt, right? So slight weapons malfunction pulls Luke and Han and adds destinies and cancel things. We see the uncontrollable fury. It is uncontrollable
Wow.
fury.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh, that might be good.
And a couple Hans and a sand effect.
That might be a game breaker.
Yeah.
If the game goes like you said, with kind of them just going to their own sites.
Yeah. But again, 13 is a real number, right? I mean, that's
It's true. It's true.
um let's see, obviously Grabber and Goldenrod. But for space package, some of the decks will play like a R2 Red 5 or a Red 5. And so what that lets them do is they can upload their Luke with the same interrupt that uploads Han and adds destinies and does all that good stuff. And so your Luke almost becomes like a space option, basically. So Greg open hands to sight.
Yeah. Docking Bay.
Be back in 1 second.
Okay. Okay, so we see a Ralltiir site, the execute Docking Bay, presumably we'll see Pia to pull that Dasani. Yeah, we'll see if Connor's gonna be able to strand Vader on Ralltiir with this uncontrollable fury. That damage adds up quick.
Pretty standard ROP setup here.
Yep. Do you think that Uncontrolled Fury is on Greg's radar?
It could be. It's a card that we have talked about as a team a couple of times. In fact, I told him yesterday he should play it until allies. Whether or not he's playing it, I don't know. So it will be interesting to see. Now the thing is that his Vader, he's probably not just going to throw a Vader to a Ralltiir site, right?
Right.
It's too expensive. It costs 6, right? You wouldn't just toss your Vader out. You're tossing Sister and Gideon and whoever deploy 4 draws alone. And so if he's playing like Chuck Vader, he's not going to put Vader out and just have it get immediately furied. He'll put Vader into a battle first, in which case some of the equity of Fury goes down a little bit, right? Fury is particularly good against Bring Him Before Me and Hunt Down Fee when you're going to want to play Vader turn 1 for pressure, and then they Fury up your Vader, and suddenly your Vader is kind of just sitting there looking like a doofus. I want to model my 2023 championship series mug, which actually
Oh,
at San Diego
nice.
I got as a random giveaway, which I'm almost as excited about as doing well at the event. I really wanted that
Nice.
mug.
When does Greg get the opportunity to stack cards?
Anytime,
Just anytime. Okay.
anytime.
Do you think he
So
will opt to do that?
yeah, you do. You always have to do it because otherwise they just immediately flip and it becomes 3+1, right? So it's you lose 2 cards to slow down to make it a drain 1 instead of a drain 2 for turns. The net difference is the same. You'd only not do it if like your hand was so good that you didn't want to lose any cards from your hand. But presuming that he does, I'm going to assume that. I mean, technically, you wait for them to play a character to one of the sites. When they play a character to a site, then you respond by stacking 2, because when you stack 2, then you basically it's like light side action, play a character to a site. You have 1 response. Your response is to stack 2. If you don't stack 2, then they're going to flip. So like right now, he needs to stack 2. Leia gets freed. Conor, a little confused about something. I'm not sure. There's obviously the
He
solid.
just
Go ahead.
he didn't pay for on.
Okay.
He was just paying brown right there.
Obviously a solid start here. He saw the bottom card of his force pile is what it looks like, so he showed it correctly.
Okay, looks like here comes the stack.
Yeah, here comes the
So
stack.
that was a barrier counselor, yeah, which is probably not great.
What?
That card that Greg has down is the barrier canceller.
Oh, the one that's he's like debating whether to play or not.
Yeah,
Fast. Yeah.
probably a reasonable card to stack. So I can't imagine Greg is incentivized to just try to get a battle in on the Death Star. I don't think that's his avenue to victory here.
Well, it will be his avenue to victory in the sense of Conor is gonna have to do some spreading to get enough damage out, basically. Right.
Yeah, but he does stack the barrier canceller, and I don't know what the other card was. I didn't see.
We'll see it when it goes to his last one. So we see Sand get played. Sand's kind of an interesting card in RTP because they add a lot of battle destinies, but it's always nice just to be safe, right?
Yep.
Han and Leia together to the 2/1 is pretty solid. That's a couple battle destinies. Obviously, when Leia dies, she recurs. Han shoots his gun at +2 now because he counts himself as a trooper. Conor stacks a sight and a slight weapon malfunction.
Is that?
It's the 1/1.
Bad? Is stacking the side bad?
Not ideal, probably. Not ideal. Like RTP is interesting in that it has like really good turn 1 activation, but then it kind of flounders a bit because it needs to pull its stuff. But on the other hand, Ralltiir is going to give you 5 icons, right? They're going to play 4 sites in their system. So you can feel fairly comfortable.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about not being able to have 3 Death Star battlegrounds. So I assume he's playing Menace Fades, right?
Probably. I mean, minutes fades is a little marginal. All you're doing is stopping that one array do terrain.
Or we do have a result from the back table. Charlie advances over Sam.
Okay.
So
Congratulations to Charlie and a great run for Sam.
yeah, start at 0-2, makes top 8.
Yeah.
Unfortunate draw to play against your.
Yeah, unfortunate draw to play your teammate, especially.
Yeah.
So those matchups I know, I think were pretty good for Charlie, just based on the decks that we're going to be playing. Which, do we know who would play the winner of this matchup?
I have not heard what the bracket structure is like.
Okay, if we can find that out, that'd be cool. Because we should stream, obviously, the one who's not currently on the camera. So we see slight weapons malfunction is used to tutor up a Luke before Greg starts his turn, so it doesn't get crapped. So yeah, it'll be an interesting question whether or not that Luke goes to ground or goes to space. And if he goes to space, then obviously he's playing the red 5 package. If he goes to ground, then we know that he's kind of. Oh, it gets randomized after this matchup. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So there is no bracket. Gotcha.
Yes, Charlie advanced. So we know Charlie and we know Hayes are currently in the top final 4.
Yep, and Jeff is up by 9 over Bat
Up by
Mouse.
9 over Bat Mouse.
And Greg's up by 13.
Yeah, I'd love to know what that matchup is.
Sikva and Obi Munings, because replay of yesterday.
Replay of yesterday. Great.
Yep. But to be fair, you know, Jeff had a lot of answers, but there were a lot of opportunities to Bat Mouse to blow the game open.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Bat Mouse kind of learned or adapted the deck a little bit, right? Because
yeah,
he played Obi Muning a couple times, so he probably like, all right, let me come at this at a different angle.
Yeah, there's also no guarantee that Jeff is playing all the intruder missile stuff again.
Right. You see a verify? I'm not sure what Greg was looking for. Might have been, I assume, the ROPs sites. They might have activated 2 sites. No, sites there.
Wait, so Jeff did win the match?
No. He said, I think they're referring to yesterday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that not
that's true. It was
the game that
by
we streamed,
1.
That's 1 by 1. And now Jeff is up by 9 against Bat Mouse. So we see Array do, and we see Docking Bay come out. And then the thing is that also RTPs, obviously, its character base is fairly limited. You know, you have like Ahsoka, you have VPP OB, you have this Luke with Blaster, but like that Han actually represents a big punching for the deck. And we also did see Greg tutor up Dick. So I think there's a pretty decent chance that Greg's gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna slow down, right? If he just has a couple guys he can stand alone with, he then makes that drain of the Death Star -1, so Conor has to pay 3 to do nothing just to unstack a card, but then also pings 1. So just slow down.
Do you know if Greg is playing Decree non-V?
Decree non-V, I don't know, and that would be a huge blowout if he was, because that really shuts down.
Right? Yeah, it shuts down the
control those 2. Yeah, I mean, in fact, that's why I know that Conor is often considered wanting to play space of some capacity in his RTP, because like if you face ROPs with Decree non-V, you just lose. We see a Piet is gonna grab Tarkin's bounty. Get a card. Jeremy, I think, stepped off for a second here. Pia is getting something. We're getting another reserve deck searched by Greg. Oh, sorry. Blizzard 4 downloads Grand to consider. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like you said, Casey, if like somehow Vader did get stuck on Ralltiir, if Uncontrollable Fury comes out, if Greg would hide him in Blizzard 4. But again, like Uncontrollable Fury is not going to come out for a while because Vader's not going to come out for a while. The Grand Inquisitor, Blizzard 4. We need to see probably one more Imperial show up to a site so that he can flip, it's Vader's shuttle. Ooh, Vader's shuttle. That's something that you can hide Vader in from Uncontrollable Fury.
Well, I think that's non-V Vader shuttle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't that does, hmm? Let's see.
Well, the non-V moves for free,
Oh, but it doesn't.
but it doesn't
Right.
cancel
It doesn't
uncontrollable fury.
cancel.
That's the V version.
Right. You're right. I'm sure. Almost for sure is. Yeah. But we see the Ozzel takes it off. So okay. So we see a flip, and we also see the Ralltiir system protected there. Those are four backed up. Let's see who blinks and pulls a battle order first. I would assume Greg will pull it. Yeah, Greg will pull battle order because obviously.
Yeah,
Raptor
not a lot of
Planet is nothing.
shields that you'd want against RTP, right?
Well, you need to have both secret plans and probably coward. So remember on their flip side, they retrieve if you don't battle, right? Which means you probably need coward to just get him off of his stack, but then you'll need secret plans because he's retrieving.
Well, he has
And
secret plans already.
that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that like this is also a drain 3. So there are actually a couple of different. It was the barrier cancel.
Well, he starts secret plans.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah,
Yeah,
coward's
so
good, but outside of that,
he'll need
there's fine.
coward resistance. Also
Yeah.
to like keep him off his stack, right? Because the why is it a drain of 1? Shouldn't be a drain of 1. Should be a drain of 0.
Is there something that prevents ROPs from?
No, nothing prevents ROPs from modifying. Leia shouldn't be adding until the epic event is unstacked. He should. Oh, he pinged 1. He pinged 1.
He pinged 1. Okay.
Right. Sorry, I got confused because the card went to the lost pile, but that was the unstacked card. We see Leia also get her gun. Very briefly, while Connor's going through there, I think I saw like a sabotage and Jedi's resilience.
Yeah, this site that's stacked on sand might force Conor to battle somewhere. Because I don't think he's going to win the race if he just has 2 Death Star sites that he's at.
Well, he should have.
Unless he has the 2-2.
Well, he should definitely have 2 2s. I see 3PO get added, so 3PO is another ping. Still just a ping of 2. And then also, he won't flip next turn unless he has another character at a different site, right? So that won't become a drain of anything until he can move around a little bit. The question becomes sort of how quick or saucy will Greg feel about going into space? I mean, going to a battle round space. Obviously, Ralltiir's a battle round.
Yeah.
Or not battle round. So Connor's kind of sitting there thinking, so Connor has some damage output, but he's not going to win this race in the long run. It's hard to attack the Ralltiir sites because he is Destiny +3 here. Yeah, if he had that 1/1, he could put Han to there and then be able to rack him over into Leia.
Yeah.
And if he can find, if he plays the 2/2, that's a safe spot for like OB to hang out, like OB, ETB, OB. You're fully immune, drains for 2. He's activating a force with 3PO. He's not activating a force with 3PO. He's debating. Counting. There's a drain and a couple other with 3PO, so he hasn't placed a card yet.
So
It's a big turn for Connor in the sense that he does need to do he needs things to be lined up correctly for him, you know. Um, Looks like a little active judging, making sure we're doing everything correct. People often think about big battles on like turn 5 or 6 or something, but often these decisions on like turn 2 are what make the game. Like we saw in the previous game, where Connor's decision on turn 1 um, certainly changed things quite a bit.
Yep.
We're spinning some force to play.
Now, do you think Connor plays like an Odin Nelsor combo to get off the Death
For sure.
Star?
Yeah, he played Odin, but man, getting off the Death Star is a risky proposition. We see Ray just join that stack there. So this is basically saying you're not going to fight me. Now, again, tricky thing is you won't flip or turn off the power until another character at another second. So he'll be able to get a double ping now with 3PO. And it won't be a drain until he gets going. And it's still only a drain of 3, or a drain of 1, +1 from Leia. Greg's going to go tutor up a shuttle with the same. And I mean, Greg's route here seems fairly straightforward. Just needs to set up at Araidu and
Yep.
just start draining away. He doesn't have to worry about a Nabrin, which obviously makes a big difference. Right, the fact that you have a respirator stopping Nabrin gives him a lot of latitude.
You feel pretty safe at all those sites.
You do feel pretty
Correct.
safe with all those sites, yeah. I mean,
Connor doesn't have a lot. Like maybe his best character, like you said, Soka OB. But
well,
then
we
again, they're
also
not.
know that he has a Gek, and like that's a big thing, right?
It's true. Mm-hmm.
Sister gets played. He's probably trying to dig out his 4th site. Um, Shuttle there, so now he can.
Okay.
That makes sense, right? Play the shuttle
Cost less.
there, put a couple guys on it, fly up, move the other shuttle. You're satisfying while also now being +4 to your battle destiny. And Greg knows that obviously Luke is pretty good on red 5, right? So Greg would know that he can't just like be totally without some space protection. But Ozzel on that shuttle is still getting +4.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see.
He also probably has barrier.
The potential of a barrier.
Also, it's not the end of the world if Connor goes red 5 Luke, because you still have access to your other shuttle. But
Correct.
if he's
Right.
playing just regular red 5, that's pretty good for Connor.
Yeah, it is. So if he does Luke regular red 5, now you kind of got to be able to punch back somehow, basically.
Yeah.
Especially with both your shuttles committed like that. But it won't flip them, right?
It's true.
But what I mean is that if he does that, Connor's not going to be flipping RTP probably. So he'd have to pay 3, 4 to move. Luke in red 5 is 6, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's 5. It's 3 for the Luke. There's
Okay.
R2.
So that signals to me that he probably is playing just red 5V.
Yep.
If he can assemble this combo, that's
He's doing it.
okay.
Yep.
Here we
He's
go.
assembled the combo. So
All
we're
right,
going to
this is
see Luke in red 5 and R2 coming at Aradu. A lot of power.
yeah, and Greg does not have a great way of dealing with this. Fully immune, gets a Destiny Nutrition
Like I
or
said, he
power.
does have a couple force up. So, if he barriers it, he can basically just bring the other shuttle over, right?
Yeah.
Now you're just kind of having a staring contest while you. But the big thing for Connor is now he will be satisfied with that.
He also has sand, so Emperor Shuttle
Not going to be adding,
not
but he
great.
obviously adds to the total.
But red 5's immune, fully immune.
Right. I just mean he will be powered. No, it's powerful. It's definitely a good. And what makes it work in this deck really well is it all kind of flows together,
Yeah.
right? In the sense that R2 gets uploaded by 3PO, which is a key card. Luke gets uploaded by Slight Weapon Malfunction, which is a key card. Right.
Yep.
So all you have to do is basically just play a couple old wings in the red 5. Like you're not like having to play a bunch of stuff you wouldn't otherwise be playing to make this. But again, a barrier would really kind of dampen Connor's day.
But Conor does have Bith Shuffle in hand.
Does he? Okay.
Yep.
That's big.
Bith Shuffle combo.
It's real big.
I mean, if Conor is able to just completely take over Iridu, can Greg really push enough damage?
He needs to get back to Iridu. He certainly can't put a shit of damage just with these guys hanging out together at the fights. Greg lost to Vader. Suddenly our uncontrollable fury feels less
yeah,
less relevant.
Normally you would not say that's good, but losing Vader in this situation, very good for Greg. Do you think Greg may have been a little premature with moving the shuttle over to Iridu, knowing that this could be a possibility?
Perhaps, but again, it's really partially a question of what else he has in hand.
Also, no barrier.
No barrier, which is fine because, like we said, the barrier is going to get canceled anyways.
Yeah.
Like, if he can refortify the shuttle,
it looks like there's a projection.
He's definitely taken off his damage. But keep in mind that we're doing this, yeah, because you add to attrition, obviously, if you're Conor, so the last thing you want is to only draw a 5 and then have Greg peel a couple cards, basically.
Right.
Yeah, this is solid. Let me see a battle. It's probably power, was it power 8 to power 4? Right?
Yeah, this is it's 2 to power.
2 to power. This is top 8. Greg won game 1 by 13.
8 power plus the Destiny, probably Destiny to attrition. So
I would imagine Destiny to attrition.
So that first Destiny was a 3.
So Greg draws a 10 for Destiny. He swaps out Tarkin for Vader.
Ooh. Man, if Conor's able to pull off this uncontrollable fury and take control over Raidu, this does not look good for Greg.
True, but keep in mind that Vader on that shuttle means Luke can't draw.
Oh.
Battle Destiny. So you kind of get this. Let's see. He has to lose both Oswald and the shuttle, though. So the shuttle's going to go.
So do you have a way to get that shuttle back?
I mean, you could probably swap again, right? Looks like Conor is peeling some cards. Also, keep in mind, if the uncontrollable fury is there, then Vader gets to battle, right?
Well, it depends on where Vader goes. If he paid him for space, which probably should.
I don't think he's swapping out DVD lots just to like throw them on a route. Would be my guess, right? So he's either going to go to a Death Star site because Conor feels good about, or Greg feels good about battling, or he's going to put him in space. In which case, if Luke's running around in space, you suddenly get your Drain of 2 back in space, right?
Do you think Conor should have pulled that side off Sand? That battle?
Maybe. I mean, he's going to be stuck at one battleground for the rest of the game until he finds his 2-2.
Well, he's got 2 battlegrounds, right? He's got a Raidu.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, it's not terrible to say that.
Yeah, so if Greg can assemble that Vader shuttle plus Vader against Luke, that'll be really good. Because then Conor needs something else to be able to draw.
3 for battle. Right. And he's not going to have anything. I mean, you can kind of safely assume something else. So it's like, okay, you put Vader back on that shuttle to he has to get the shuttle back, but he might have no escape. Right. He no escapes back the shuttle, puts Vader on it. sure, you can uncontrollably fury me, but I'm getting a drain of 2 back, and now your Luke has to run around every turn. So when Luke moves to Ralltiir, it becomes a battleground because of R2. So that is important to keep in mind.
Oh yeah, good call. Okay, there's Emperor. There's Sand.
I mean, I think this is probably what Greg is thinking is like, I mean, keep in mind the last battle, he outpowered him with Oswald and the shovel, right? So you might just be thinking, all right, I'm just going to park in front of you, basically. Like, I'm going to drain for 3, you're going to drain for 3, you got to win by 13. Tell me what you're going to do, kind of.
Yep. So we see Gideon and Command on the Sand effect.
Right. And now if there's another battle, he can swap out potentially another ship to get Vader's shuttle, put Vader and the shuttle out together. Quite a bit of force. Maul and Sith Infiltrator?
Wait, is that really Maul? Is that
It's
Tap
really,
Maul?
I believe that is Tap Maul. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's something that we discussed and kind of went with, which is like enforcement kind of sucks right now. It's just not very good for ROPs, right? Losing the looping Emperor retrieval really makes a big difference. And so now, why not open up the deck to in the deck can play the card it wants, right? It has no character restrictions. So
That's
why
Lord
not?
Maul, not Tap Maul.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I meant to say the word. So now it's kind of balls back in Conor's court. Can't battle into that,
It's a
right?
lot of power,
It's a
yeah.
lot of power. You know, even if you sand to limit and add power with Luke, which is what you'd have to do, he's 2 fully immune ships, right? Now he can run away to Ralltiir because Luke will make that a battleground. But then he has
But
to turn
then,
around, he
yeah.
drains a 4 on the next turn. Because again, he doesn't flip yet, because he doesn't occupy the Death Star. So he can drain for 0, unsack the card, and then do 2 ping. But also because he killed 3 last turn too. I mean, you're starting to see where these life total counts are getting a little tight.
Does Conor play like Path?
Path of least resistance, you can't play
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
RTP cancels it.
just cancels it. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, no path. So he'll drain for 0, he'll unstack. Looks like that was the get, which is totally reasonable. I mean, basically, swap it out later. Ping a 1.
Gig and a command.
And another ping. It's 2 pings. Yeah, Greg's getting Destiny +4 there with Maul. So he's actually not a ton of power. He's power 7, drawing 2 Destinies, Destiny +4 versus Luke power 8. You obviously add the power, not attrition, so it could be a
Yeah.
long, slow grind if that's what Conor wants to do. But Conor's not going to have anything else here. Like, that's the issue.
Right.
Right. So you see his hand is like Ahsoka, Jen.
Is that his hand? I think it might be his
Oh,
deck.
this is his
His
deck.
reserve deck.
Ahsoka, Jen, very short cards. He's probably trying to find that 2/2 site. He has finding that 2/2 site would make a big difference.
Yes, I agree. I don't think it was in there.
And it's just
I don't think I
another
saw it.
drain. It's another drain of 1. The other tricky thing about, well, good and bad for him, but tricky thing about Luke is that he is another drain bonus for Leia. But if he's stuck in space, then you need, I mean, he does drain for 3 in space, but obviously resistance will turn that off. But that thing is that's another drain that could get around the drain -1 if he had been on the Death Star. Not saying it's right or wrong from the Death Star here, but that he's losing a little bit of damage output basically.
Yeah, well, I think there's no way he can win the game if he doesn't have Luke in space here. If he doesn't contest a Ralltiir.
Obi-Wan. So Obi-Wan here, I think is a pretty strong signal. He must have a
Odin Elsler.
an Odin combo because you just wouldn't keep stacking this side up forever unless you did. I think Odin away, maybe Obi and Rey. Because if Leia's lost outside of the Death Star, I believe she does not go back to the corridor. I think she has to be lost on the Death Star. In-game update, another one says like Batmouse used a tractor beam to capture Han Chewie Falcon. Just kick Jeff out of space.
All right, so he finally got a tractor beam off against Jeff.
Let's see if that's enough. I mean, the thing is, Jeff can just pay 3 to drain a bunch in the cantina, and he only needs to lose by 8. So.
It's true, but Batmouse has a ton of retrieval.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that goes. Chewie.
Jeff only won that game by 1 yesterday, even by keeping Han Chewie Falcon alive the whole game.
Also keep in mind here that he does occupy 2 battlegrounds, so he gets around Coward. So he can spread out for these drains.
So now he flips. Yep.
And he's draining basically for 3 and pinging for 2. I'm not quite sure why you play Obi there. Everyone moves for free when you flip. That's why. Leia moves for free, and then everyone free moves. He did not move the lightsaber guys. Not quite sure. And he did not.
He just wants to protect the battleground.
Interestingly, he did not move Luke.
Yeah, I think that's fine, right?
I don't know. If I were Greg, you can still add 1 more pilot to Maul Sith Infiltrator and just battle for like add +3 to your destinies, do a swap. You have a lot you can do there. I don't know. It feels like a pretty favorable battle.
So the back table looks like Batmouse is fully set up. 3 systems, Star Destroyers, Tarkin's Doctrine. That sounds good for Batmouse.
Hard to come back.
And he occupies the battleground site.
And he's not paying for drains. Wow. Yeah, that might be a +10 victory for him. Looks like Conor might be explaining to Greg how RTP works. The minor thing, but Greg does have to pay 1 for his drains here. The other thing also about Uncontrollable Fury, if he does put him on the Death Star, you can just move him in front of that battleground and be like, fine, battle me. I'm going to kick out of this thing,
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's just you lose 2 force for this game. It's good. It's just not as good here as it is against like a bring up sort of deck. I mean, I'm pretty sure you would slam Vader into that site against Leia and Chewie and see what happens.
Yeah, just choke.
But Conor does know that Greg has choke Vader, right? So for not being able to see the rest of the game, presumably there's.
Yeah, Conor can also just cancel the battle, right, by pooping Obi, if he really feels the need to.
Thanks for subscribing, Queso Sauce 37. Yes, Conor can cancel battles with Obi. That's correct.
It looks like Batmouse is advancing over Jeff.
That's what it sounds like.
We'll get Batmouse wins, yeah. Batmouse advances.
Wow.
Good for him. Another top 4.
So we got Batmouse, we have Hayes, we have Charlie.
I
mean, it looks to be some pretty low destinies here in the winner of this game.
Low destinies from Greg.
Yeah, I think there were 4 or 5. I saw a mall, a EPP mall, like a double swing mall, and it looked like I think a Night Sister was in there. Which Night Sister, Also kind of good in this current setup for him.
Right, so you see there, Greg having to pay one to drain because of RTP. Yeah, Bat Mouse by 12. Good for him.
Looks like it's a character. I can't really see who. Some character who's a pilot and a warrior. Maybe it's Ahsoka. Got lost off the top.
Yeah, that looks like Ahsoka. Looks like they're getting a little bit of clarification on these sites.
Yeah, I feel like so we're looking at 5 damage a turn now from Conor.
That's assuming that he's able to keep
Tarkin get
Luke.
added to probably Malsa Filtrator. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, we'll see how long he can keep Luke alive.
That's the thing is how long can he like chill? How long is this space going to be good for him? So the thing is, if you pull off sand, he gets to add to power, and so we're looking at 8 to 8 +3 on Battle Destiny for Greg. Takes a card off his sand. He has to take cards off his sand.
Yeah.
But
Like you
obviously,
said, Greg fully immune here.
fully immune. And so even if we end up in a tie, you're effectively what is that?
Dark time.
Oh my goodness. So he adds 3 to his total power. Yeah, +1 for each. If your opponent doesn't have 2 battlegrounds out, it's +1 for each battleground. Non-battleground they have. He's adding 3 to total power. And let's see. Conor's going to have. I mean, obviously, he's going to take that sight off of sand. Yeah, takes the sight off of sand. So Greg is not going to get 4 battle destinies or 3 battle destinies, but he's still going to.
So it's interesting that he decided to do that instead of just cancel projection. But I guess you just want to guarantee you get Luke.
You can't cancel projection. You cancel projection only if your opponent doesn't occupy a battleground.
Or if it is okay.
Yeah, or
yeah. I got you.
I mean, this is still pretty good. So he's seeing that's 2, so it'd be 4, 7, 8, 9. He's power 12 to power 8. And then Conor is going to get power draw. Probably going to be another couple of force that Conor has to peel here. And again, it's starting to get a little dicey. Like it's sort of like, are you going to move?
Yeah, and you can't really afford to lose R2 either because
can't afford to lose R2 because you need to make Ralltiir a battleground.
Yeah.
So it does power 4 because it's back to parity. Draws a 1, which becomes a 4. Can't modify or do anything with it, but he is +1 for each of the sites. And he's swapping barrier for Dick.
Okay. And he
that's the other thing is like
what, +3 power?
Yeah. Okay. So it'd be 9.
We got like 15 power.
That's not bad. We get another life force count. Looks like we're swapping something for something. Oh, he's swapping a master from the I don't know.
Maybe he decided he wanted masterful move over Gick.
I think Conor won the battle actually. Conor would be at power.
Yeah, he drew a 4 and then a 6 for his
so 10, he'd be at 18.
Yeah.
Bet. You can only do this for so long through sand. Greg can just lose like to sane if he's so worried about it. I don't really know what the counts are. What is that 6 supposed to be? I think this card is today. The masterful move, I think it was a swap, is what it was.
So I think he originally swapped for Gick, but he may have decided he wanted masterful move instead of Gick.
Possibly. Makes sense. Maybe sets up a Destiny 6.
Yeah. So Connor could track that AJR around now.
Mm-hmm.
So he could
Yeah,
probably
keep a high
battle
destiny
again.
going.
He could probably afford to battle again and maybe cause Greg to lose another character in space.
I wonder how much time we have left. Garrett, if you hear me, I'm curious how much time we have left.
Okay, so Greg loses Dark Maneuvers, EPP Maul. It's getting a drain of 2? No resistance,
Should
right?
be a total of 4.
Drain of 2 and 2.
Well, they're -1. So they're drains of 2 and they're each -1. But you should
One of them's 3, right? Because of Leia.
no, Leia makes it where the oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. Leia makes it's +1 there, then Leia. Yep. That's a drain of 2, drain of 1, and pings. So he loses 5. Greg grabs resistance. It's not looking terrible for Conor.
No,
You
he's
keep this
staying alive
space
in
up.
space.
Staying alive in space makes a big difference here.
But if Greg's able to track around that 6 and just start
Yeah.
her on that 6 every battle in space, Connor's gonna have
Pain.
to give
You
up.
see a Jedi Love
Okay.
for is that
Back
Ahsoka? It is
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka's just a solid character, basically.
Yeah, could probably clear one of these Inquisitors.
She
Feels
could, but she'll get cleared back is the problem. It might be he's just gonna play her to spread out in the Death Star somewhere. Or maybe you just go after.
yeah, just kill a guy. Save yourself a
Oh, you should go
drain.
after the other one. If you do this one, she gets pinged when she dies. Grand Inquisitor ping. Garrett says there's 30 minutes left. We're halfway through. Can't really see Connor's life force total, so I'm not sure what's going on with that.
He
Ooh,
hasn't lost a ton of force yet. He
no.
lost the 3 in the battle and then
Oh,
2 a few
Orlando.
drains.
So this is, I mean, all this is sort of like just play your dick against me, kind of, if he even needs to kick, which you might not need to. I only has 1 force up, which commits him to losing Lando in the battle.
Another projection.
Another
Okay.
projection. Definitely,
So Connor eliminating all of Greg's damage potential here.
right. But also kind of forcing himself to either have to have a battle here,
Well, I wonder if he'll just pass.
and well, it's if he passes, and Luke is sitting there against those ships, and I think has a very okay. He activates extra forces through, yeah. So now he could battle off the Inquisitor and move.
I think it's just gonna pass. I think this is good.
Okay.
Because now you force Greg to kind of.
Yeah, except you let Greg just track a masterful move. That's the problem.
I mean, you're gonna have to weather the storm in
He,
space
he's grabbing
regardless.
he's grabbing masterful move.
Oh, okay, that's a great grab. Good play on Connor's part.
Um, Phantom Menace. Oh, he tutors up Phantom Menace with masterful move.
Yeah, another magic reference. Drew, I'm keeping track.
Sorry, tutor does sound better than upload. I don't know if he has a way to put back that Phantom Menace.
This doesn't look horrible for Connor.
It doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, he's stabilized right now. The
Yeah, I mean,
big thing
he's
is that
basically asking Greg, "Hey, do you want to put more guys on Ralltiir to fight my guys, or do
well,
you want to try to outpower me in space?"
but the other thing is also that
We do, but he does have Choke Fader,
he
which
has
Connor
choke
needs
Vader in
back.
hand, so he could choke Vader right into Leia and Chewie.
Or he could choke Lando,
Yeah.
but then he runs into Uncontrollable Fury.
Well, the other question is, you wouldn't do that because of Kujix, right? I don't think you're as worried about that state. as you are about trying to keep off the RTP damage. And if you throw Leia back into jail, that helps a lot.
Ooh, there's a sight in there.
Sight, and
You have to pull that.
we can't pull that. He's flipped.
Oh, right. It's brutal. You can see Greg's
Yeah,
expression there.
definitely a frustrating moment here for him. Because if he draws that 0, he's gonna be pretty far behind in space.
Yeah. Or if you draw for your choke destiny, if that's your plan.
Yeah, I mean, the Vader can come out, choke if he fails, and he draws a 9 or draws an 8. So he would still clear out both those sides. And I agree that Uncontrollable Fury helps, but Greg with a Git can move the Vader in front of that site that's doing. It'd be bad for him, but I don't think it would actually necessarily. Keep in mind that Greg also has a couple of cards stacked on sand.
Yes. Just be careful about Leia's gun, though. He might be a little. Ooh.
There's
Yeah, there
Vader.
comes the Ralltiir. Yikes, this could be really bad for Greg.
Mm-hmm. So he could just lose the Vader in the battle here.
He could, but do you think Greg is going to do that? The only reason you would do that is if you know that Conor has uncontrollable fury, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Nick's saying in chat, he could just not draw, basically. As others have pointed out, Vader could just hop on the Blizzard 4 and go away.
It's true. So we see a battle in space, I think. I think that's what's happening here. Controls a 5 for
4.
power.
And
Ooh,
there's the 0.
there's a
Ah,
0.
Greg.
Does it
Yikes.
still get the ROPS bonus?
He does
It
get the
does,
box
right?
bonus. Yeah, yeah, it's still.
But Conor is what, 20 power here?
Kind of has a lot of power here. Yeah.
Or a 19 power? 18 power. 10 plus 8. So there goes Emperor. Covers 9. Then here's a battle at the street. Conor gets to retrieve 1. There's an imbalance combo. Make him lose 1.
Mm-hmm.
Loses a Han. Here's the choke. Yeah, Lando's dead. So yeah, we'll see if Conor just passes here. Pretty heads
We
up
know he
play.
has a Hujix, right?
Yeah. Okay, takes command off sand. And then, yeah, draws a 4 plus 3. So 7. No battle destiny. You
Yep.
don't like that if you're Greg. That cannot be good if you're Greg. He didn't even have to Hujix, he just lost Ahsoka and won. Oh
No,
no, no, there was
he
Hujix.
has two Hujix.
What was that one force he lost?
The Grand Inquisitor.
Oh right, yeah.
I think Greg understands
Great.
what's going on.
Well, he didn't move Vader to
He
the
did
same
move
side
Vader,
as
yeah.
Blizzard 4. And he's letting Blizzard 4 die. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
This is horrible. You gotta feel Conor feeling really good right now. Is this Walkling for Uncontrollable Fury?
No, it's for we need Ha, probably.
Really needs that, okay.
Yeah, to get back.
I think he still has Uncontrollable Fury in his hand, right? He hasn't lost it
He
yet.
does, yeah. Conor has 18 in life force. Greg's 11.
And Greg is essentially doing no damage.
Yeah.
And Conor's doing a ton of damage plus all his damage he's about to take
Yeah.
from.
Honestly, the uncontrollable fury is probably unnecessary. They each have 19 life force.
Can Vader choke himself?
Vader cannot choke himself.
Okay, so drain for 2, which is a 1. So you're doing 4 damage here.
Is that top card on sense?
There it is.
Yeah, it's
Controllable
uncontrollable
Fury.
fury.
See Greg's reaction there.
Hmm.
Okay, Conor is just
Then
moving.
Conor runs away there. So Greg will be able to drain for 3. Obviously, double checking. See, now he's going to be taking 2.
Yeah,
I do agree. Conor battling in space would have been pretty strong
yeah, I mean,
because he's not adding
Greg is,
anymore. The Emperor died.
yeah, Greg is powered, what, 4 plus he's power 6? Plus 3
He'd
from
be
Tarkin?
power 5, 2 from Tarkin, 7 plus 3 is 10, so 10 to 8, and Greg gets a power draw.
Yeah. I mean, Conor could have definitely cleared out another character there, probably. Let's see if Greg has a second Blizzard 4 here to clear Vader. So we see Thrawn V.
He can't deploy Blizzard 4, it's out of play.
Oh, yeah. Very good point. All right, so then he moves. Sith Infiltrator in front of Luke. I think it's a retrieve one with the objective too, right? Still
Yep, no
battle?
battle happened.
Yikes. I don't see how Greg wins this game.
Yeah. No, I don't think he can. Yeah, with the retrieval and the extra damage, he did leave the shuttle at Araidu. Thrawn can, presumably Thrawn has a command, and he's going to kick, right?
Yeah.
But he's still taking a green just of one next turn.
It's going to be close as far as the differential, but I think Connor's going to edge it out. Connor gets this drain of one and then ping of. So just does 3PO still ping if you don't control?
Yeah, 3PO is occupied for ping. Greg does just have to lose by 12, but he's really doing very little damage is the issue. And Connor has a pretty full hand.
He is. R2 makes that a battleground. Makes the Ralltiir a battleground.
R2 makes it a battleground, that's correct.
Man, that one turn with Greg pooped Blizzard 4, man, that was.
Hmm. Yeah, it's tough. Looks like another imbalanced combo.
What was that retrieval from?
Did he pop Walkling? No, I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Oh, he hit with Ray's lightsaber. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. We're in battle. Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the point of this battle for Greg is to hopefully just clear a couple of things.
Yeah. 3PO would be ideal.
Yeah, I mean, if he draws relatively high, he's going to clear basically pick two, right? Forfeit four, forfeit five,
Yeah,
forfeit
he
from the
could probably.
lightsaber.
He should probably pull Gideon off of. So yeah, and I do this again next turn.
Yeah, and just keep swapping around the kick if he can. I don't know how big Greg's hand is.
Because if Greg can clear him off this battleground, then he's in good shape, I would say. 'Cause then he can play coward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where you wish that the Vader. I mean, that's the thing is like going for that big beatdown at the city didn't really work either, right?
Yeah.
Like if he has a Hujix, then you're not doing anything. Whereas Vader gone here, he chokes Han, and then still draws an 8, so he's got to clear another guy. Like, I just think that the Vader elsewhere didn't really accomplish much. So he draws.
5 and a 6.
So he draws
+4. So 15 for Battle Destiny. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's gonna be, but that's just still gonna be the 2 lightsaber furs, right? Like
Yeah,
Han is still alive.
he didn't take Gideon. I mean, if he has another character and does this again,
Presumably, Greg's gonna move over Leia and Chewie. No, Nick, the OB is a just response. So it's when battle's just initiated. But it does mean that if he doesn't lose OB here, he can protect. But if he doesn't lose OB here, he has to lose Rey's, Han, and 3PO, which would be
yeah.
probably not very tenable for him.
Oh. Okay, so he swapped a character for Ninth Sister.
That could be very strong.
That could be very good.
Still got to eat a lot of damage.
Well, he's probably going to clear.
Probably clearing OB and Rey would be my guess.
Yeah, but if you do that, then you really open yourself up to this
With the
Ninth
Ninth
Sister.
Sister. Well, except you could shoot Ninth Sister with Leia. Ninth Sister will die. Ninth Sister's going to die in the battle. So you still
Yeah,
have to.
but now he has to put Leia at the. He has to move his guys back to the battleground. Should probably do anyways. Probably forced to do that.
Looks like Greg's peeling a couple cards.
Guys, yeah, he moves both his guys back. Moves Luke.
So again, Greg's only dealing 1 damage
Luke move for free?
Yeah, he paid 1. Leia moved for free.
Leia moves for free, gotcha.
I actually don't even know without Fury if Greg can win this game. Fury's done 2 force loss, right? Greg has like 8 life force total.
Yeah. Yep, there's a handshake. I think Conor got it.
Conor got it. Big win for Conor.
Well played by Conor. Jeez.
Yeah, Uncontrollable Fury. It's been a card I've seen kind of pop up a couple times. I actually played it in RTP a couple months ago.
It certainly got me into top 8 at Worlds last year.
Oh, that's right. I forget that was the thing that you played like too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk to him.
It should be online, so.
Hey, Conor.
Hey, guys.
Can you hear us?
Hey, congrats,
Yeah,
man.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Conor, the first thing I need you to do on camera is to tell everyone that I did not tell you to play on Global Fury because my teammates told me that if they think that's true. I've already had multiple chats I've had to confirm that this is a thing you've independently been doing in RTP for a while.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't talked to you on Slack in weeks.
Well, so yeah. But
yeah, that was. I mean, here it kind of helped, to make up the differential, but it feels a little win more. And
yeah, when it came out, you were already kind of up ahead. So tell us a little bit about the matchup. Tell us about what the deck you chose and how you approached it.
The specific one or both?
Let's talk about both. Let's start with the first one.
We'll start with Thrawn. So I chose Thrawn because I really wanted to play walkers, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Thrawn kind of feels like it plays a little like walkers. You're just like shifting the theater that you are trying to overpower in and do your pings and stuff. So it felt like kind of a good switch, and it felt like it would have more lines against some of the top decks we saw yesterday. So that's why I went with that. In OA was definitely something I expected to see, and it really hurt that I opened up Thrawn and Chimera because I couldn't get the jump on.
Oh, you opened, yeah, yep.
So
Gotcha.
that put me just a turn behind because Greg just had an extra turn to get all his stuff.
And I think we missed that, honestly, in the stream. We thought you chose to go to Kessel. And we were like,
no,
got it. Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
That was my only, I think that was my only option. I could have just drawn and saved a bunch. May have not been terrible, but I just was like, well, at least I'll force him to pull the drain shield. I'll start my pings and, work towards the flip and all that.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, just conjecture, but I'm not sure. I mean, Thrawn definitely wants, you got to flip, but, if they can delay your flip by stacking your, staring you in the face in space, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the right line is there, but I definitely would have preferred to just go to Jakku. So couldn't do that.
Okay.
And so then the rest of the game was just trying to amass power to match whatever he'd throw at me at Jakku, and wait until I had enough pieces to go to ground, safely. I just didn't want to go to ground and then get cleared, obviously. So. I liked the game plan I had, and it worked, well enough. I obviously lost, but no, I thought I did what I could with it, so that felt all right. So yeah, we'll see how Thrawn does going forward. It's not like one of my I'm not terribly experienced with it, so I was a little hesitant to play just because you never want to put yourself at a step back just from the jump, just because you don't know your deck as well as your opponent, but. It felt pretty smooth playing it. There wasn't a ton. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me if I missed anything major, but we'll see. I don't want to say anything. I'll knock on wood and hope just keep piloting it well.
And then tell us about why you chose Rescue the Princess. And,
Sure. Well, Rescue the Princess is obviously, or maybe not obviously, but it's one of my favorite decks. And I played No Idea yesterday, and I felt it did okay, but it didn't do great against Invasion, which I thought was a pretty good likelihood to see today. So I wasn't, and then on top of that, ROPs is something that Joe and Team 5 and New Allies all like, so I thought that was a definite potential, and I'm conceding that matchup. I don't know how to beat ROPs with No Idea. So basically I was off No Idea. RTP is something I know really, really well, and it can be built to beat those decks, which is what I tried to do with this. So I felt like it was fast, so it can get started really quickly. It forces a lot of early decisions for Darkside that they might not want to make, and it just felt like it might just be an underrated, maybe underdog sort of deck. So I played it. And I saw ROPs and it worked out.
Yeah, we saw that Uncontrollable Fury in your opening hand, and we were wondering, is it going to come into play?
Yeah,
and like you said,
it might
have been win more. You might have won that match without it anyways. But how good did it feel to see him play Vader and then hoop Blizzard 4 after that?
Yeah, that was really, really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't draw Destiny that battle, which I was worried might have been a little too cute just to get the Sith Fury, Uncontrollable Fury going. Okay, it sounds like we gotta wrap it up. But but I had the Gick, and I actually messed up because I knew I could walkling to get Unita and get the Gick right back, except I forgot to play Unita, so I didn't actually pull that off. But anyway, yeah, it worked out. I thought he was gonna put Vader on my 2-1. And that's when I was going to be like, okay, you'll probably get cleared or lose a battle, or maybe if you're lucky, you'll keep a guy. But then I could pull my 1-1 off of Sand, Uncontrollable Fury him, and then move over, maybe re-rescue Leia if I had to, whatever. But yeah, so either way, open-handing that card was a huge confidence booster. So yeah, all the stuff worked out, the space worked out, and just fortunate to move on.
Nice. Congratulations.
Congratulations and good luck.
Yeah, good luck in your
Great win there.
next round.
And
Congratulations.
on
Connor.
top of all that, I had a lot of support from the community, like to the people who I reach out to encourage me to play the decks I did. So,
Awesome.
huge thanks there.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thanks, guys.
we will.
Congratulations. Good luck.
All right, bye.
I'm going to take a quick break, Drew, if you want to hold
Sounds
down
good.
the fort.
Can do. All right, everyone. So we have our top 4 set, which is going to be Connor Britton, who we saw just advanced over Greg Shaw, and then